Let's take you back to our top story now. As we've mentioned, the ATM's Mncedi Ndzwanana has been elected as the Speaker of the Tshwane Council. He defeated ActionSA's Kholofelo Morodi. But the Multiparty Coalition is crying foul over this, and it's after 69 spoiled ballots were disqualified by the IEC because of how they were marked. Let's get you a sense of what else we need to know potentially. Bring in the coalition spokesperson, Corne Mulder, who joins us via our video link this morning. Great to see you, sir. Thanks for making time to speak to us. You've taken great exception to the IEC's decision to do away with these 69 votes. Tell us why.
Well, I think it's a very critical situation what happened here. I think it's a red letter day in our democracy when the IEC gets involved in party politics. The IEC is supposed to be independent, and clearly this is not what happened yesterday, and it's got huge implications. The INC did not apply what they are supposed to do in terms of the Constitution or the law when they did that, took that decision yesterday. So in actual fact, what happened here was that the candidate who lost this election, was declared the winner by the IEC. Surely they must understand we will not accept that, and we'll just take that as a given.
Okay, shall we unpack the IEC's reasoning here? My understanding is that they're saying these 69 votes weren't marked correctly. As a matter of fact, is that something you agree with?
No, we don't agree with that. You see, one must just understand the context of what happened yesterday. And this says something about democracy in South Africa. It says something about the ruling party, the ANC. Yesterday's whole process was for one purpose and one purpose only. The council started at 10 o'clock in the morning. It was supposed to elect a speaker for council. There are in a total 214 councillors. There are 3 vacancies. So all what needed to be done was for 211 people to vote. Now, how long can that take? This morning, about 1 o'clock, we were still busy with that process. Why? Because obviously the ANC tried to disrupt the meeting. They did so. That caused one problem after the other. So at 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon, there was still no voting going on. Voting started at 4 o'clock. Then after there's been about a third of the councillors voted, the ANC stormed the ballot boxes. They tried to confiscate the ballot boxes. They ripped the ballot paper from one of the DA councillors, and the IEC suspended the election. Now this is the ANC, the ruling party, and while all this is happening, the ANC Premier, Wan Lesufi, is in the gallery. So the ANC must indicate to us what they think about democracy, but be that as it may, and we'll take that further on, and the electorate should understand that the ANC is not a democratic institution. It's there's a word for that, and I think the Zondo Commission said exactly what that is. But let me come to the election. So 211 people voted. They had to restart the election in a different venue, and people had to go in one by one to vote. So the result is quite clear. Out of 211, the ANC and their whatever got 105. The Multiparty Coalition candidate received 37, and then they decided to disqualify 69 votes, perhaps all the votes of the DA. And if you add the Multiparty Coalition votes in total, that's 106. The multi-party candidate won. The multi-party candidate is the speaker. And then the IEC decides, no. We will declare the ANC candidate the winner. Now this has got implications for the IEC, and they must understand that. And they did that by saying that the 69 ballots of the Democratic Alliance are disallowed. Well, our agents who was there and part of that process, the counting agents in that process, saw not one single ballot that did not exactly would be in terms of the different examples set out by the INC themselves. No ballots were damaged, no ballots were done in such a manner that you can't see what the will of that specific councillor was. And the IEC decided, no, we're going to disallow 69 ballots so that the ANC can win. This is a very dangerous situation in South Africa that happened last night, and we will not leave it there. Obviously not.
Yeah, I imagine. And it's quite a startling allegation to be making, right? To suggest that the IEC is working in cahoots with certain organizations so that there's a particular outcome is something you're obviously going to have to back a whole lot more. My understanding is that the IEC itself met with chiefs whips of different organizations. I think your organization must have also been represented there. What do you know to have been discussed there before this decision was made to accept the outcome as it stands?
No, the outcome was not accepted by all the coalition parties. They immediately signed objections to the result. They were not prepared to accept that result because it's not a correct result.
Right.
The loser became the winner. Thank you, IEC. So they did not accept that result. They immediately declared a dispute in writing and gave that to the IEC. And the IEC declared this person still the winner last night. And all what happened was this. The law is quite clear. You must make a mark on the ballot paper that indicates your intention of what you want to do, where you want to vote. That's all you've got to do. There's nothing in the law that says you must make a cross. The cross must be with a black pen, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't say that. The intention of the voter must be clear. So what happened was the 69 people from the Democratic Alliance, instead of making a cross, used numbers in the correct box for certain other reasons, perhaps, or for whatever reason, I don't know. And we can't even say quite conclusively that those are the ballots of the DA. That's a deduction that is being made. But the IEC took it upon themselves to decide. And you know, the interesting thing is this, that the IEC gives a schedule that is available during training, etc., of what kind of ballots are all accepted. Nothing happened yesterday that is not one or part of that kind of examples that they give. They should have understood that this is such a serious election. This is about the Speaker of the capital city, Tshwane. And it's not only about that position. This is about an attempt by the ANC to try and steal power in Tshwane. We all know that. They don't have the numbers.
Right.
If you add the coalition parties, they don't have the numbers. They've got a minority. But despite that, if you look at what happened yesterday, and there are videos available, and while all of this is happening, the ANC premier in the province sits in the gallery. President Ramaphosa will have to stand up and give an indication where he stands with regard to this premier of his in Gauteng.
That's interesting. All right, so the DA didn't make crosses in the box where you mark your vote. They actually wrote numbers there, and I imagine that's where the contention is. But very well, with the time we have left, what happens next?
Well, obviously, we will get some legal advice this morning, and most likely that advice will lead to a court application to have this election set aside. But the tragedy is, what kind of message are we sending to the electorate at the moment? And I think the ANC knows exactly what kind of message we are sending to the electorate. I really think the Premier doesn't care, because he has the intention to put the city under administration. We all know that. And it fits the bill of the ANC and the whole process that they've got in mind. They are not Democrats, not at all. But the tragedy is, what about the residents of the city of Tshwane, the people that pay their taxes, the people that want service delivery? They are being put in a position where they are the last that is being thought about. And the reality is that the multi-party coalition, we are ready to govern. We've got our candidates. We've got a majority. But every trick in the book has been done since day one to destabilize and to make it impossible to govern. This is not only about the Speaker of Tshwane. This is about democracy in South Africa. This says big crisis coming up in 2024. But the ANC must know we will take them head on in that process.
All right, on that bombshell, Corne Mulder, thanks for speaking to us. He speaks for the Multi-Party Coalition in the city of Tshwane as we watch this story continuing to unfold. Once again, thanks for your time.